of the great muhaddiseen in Iraq. Imam Ahmad Rahimahullah was born in Baghdad. And in Baghdad, this muhaddis, Abu Bakr bin Ayyash, was considered to be one of the greatest of muhaddiseen over there. So he says the class of Abu Bakr bin Ayyash used to stand after Salat al-Fajr in the masjid. Now Imam Ahmad, this young boy, he wakes up at the time of Salat al-Tahajjud, and after finishing Tahajjud, finishes Tahajjud earlier, and he goes to the masjid as soon as the masjid opens, so he can get a place very close to where the teacher would sit. So he would go to the masjid even before everyone is done with Salat al-Tahajjud. He will be at the doors of the masjid. As the masjid opens, the first person to enter the masjid will be this young man, this orphan who's raised by his mother, and the mother will wake him up. If you get late, you will not be able to sit too close to your teacher, and then you will lose a lot of virtues. You will lose a lot of barakah. Go get up, sit next to him, sit as close as possible to him, so you get more attention and more barakah. And every day he wakes up and he is sitting next to his teacher in the class, Abu Bakr ibn Ayyash. Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal Rahimahullah kept on learning the hadith from the fuqaha around him in Baghdad. Finally, by the age of 18, he had memorized all the hadith. I'm not talking about memorizing Quran, that was much earlier. By the age of 18, Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal Rahimahullah had memorized all the hadith of the muhaddiseen in Baghdad. Now, he faces another turn in his life. It was a major turn in his life that he had to take. And that was this mother who sacrificed everything to raise her child, to raise this orphan with these adab and akhlaq, and teach him everything that a Muslim man should know in his life. Now it's time for this young man who's 18 years old to leave his mother by herself and travel around the world to get the ahadith from the other muhaddiseen. So initially he went to different towns in Iraq. He went to Kufa, he went to Basra, and spent some years over there memorizing the ahadith from the muhaddiseen in those towns. Then he would come back to his home, at least to be able to see the face of his mother. No means of communication in those days. If you write a letter, we'll get there after months, and he cannot afford to send a letter, to buy a piece of paper to send a letter to his mother. Orphan, doesn't have no money. Left his home without carrying a single penny in his pocket. Left his mother at home without leaving a single piece of rice or grain at home. The mother has the tears in her eyes. Son, I know it's difficult for you. I know it would be difficult for him, but for memorizing the ahadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, we have to offer this sacrifice. Fi amanillah, son, go and memorize the ahadith. After spending few years over there, now he has to take another step where he will be going far away from his home. Doesn't know when he would be able to see his mother again. He went to Mecca and Medina initially, then to Yemen, Egypt, and kept on traveling to learn every hadith he can get anywhere in the world. Wherever he hears that there is a muhaddis somewhere in that part of the world, he will go over there to learn the hadith from him. The journey that started at the age of 18, initially he was able to come back and see his mother occasionally. But now, after having going these far distances, this young man who left at the age of 18. He comes back home when he's about 40 years old. He's about 40 years old to come back and congratulate his mother that, ma'am, I memorized the ahadith from every muhaddith that I could get to. Subhanallah. Look at these mothers. When we talk about women in Islam, see what women have given us. The gifts that they have offered to the ummah, not to one person, not to few people, not to a community, to the ummah of Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, to benefit from till the day of judgment. And from there, Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal starts a new life as a teacher now. Inshallah, we will talk about him and about his life as a teacher, his life as an imam in our next sessions. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين والمسلمات وآخر دعوانا الحمد لله رب العالمين.